Hey guys, Brent from Dark Force Custom Sabers here again, and obviously I got a new build for you guys to kind of just kind of show you guys, and this will also be the instruction manual of sorts for the customer that ends up buying this gem of a saber. I'm really proud of this one, and it's my first CNC design Hilt, and it's not only my first, but it's going to be leading to a lot of other really cool things that I'm going to start bringing in for my Saber line in 2018. So, guys, if you want a Saber from me, let me know. I can put you on a list, and I can kind of tease you with the new designs, and those should be ready at the first quarter of 2018. And anyhow, more on that later. Right now, this is about this saber. This guy, like I said, it was my first CNC design. I'm really happy with it. It turned out fantastic. Um, Obviously, it comes in at 10.5 inches, which I find is about the shortest that you can go for a screen accurate looking saber, which I try and go for screen accurate when I do my sabers. Um, it has a very nice metallic powder coating. That's the word I'm looking for. My mistake. It has some wrapping, copper wrapping to be exact. It is genuine copper that I wrapped around there. I did that just for a little bit more texture and also so I didn't have to go over it again with powder coating. I wanted to keep this one just kind of sleeker, a little bit more simplistic. Really nice, very durable. It's not going to go anywhere. Um, and I'll talk a little bit more about the durability overall when the blade is in the saber because there are a few little notes to talk about. But anyhow, aside from the new custom design, it also sports a custom machined chassis. I machine all my chassis out of PVC at the moment, and I'm fairly pleased with that. So it uses a Nano Biscotte version 4, utilizing obviously Neopixel technology. You guys have seen my other videos. I'm very big on Neopixel tech. So uh, anyhow, this is the Nano Biscotte version 4, all wired up in there. Has a rechargeable 2.1 millimeter recharge port for obviously um, charging the saber. This saber will come with a charger and this little kill key as well. So uh, just always remember to keep that in when you're switching your sound fonts or anything. This saber comes with light meat, dark meat, and gray meat sound fonts, just the standard ones that come with the Nano Biscotte boards by Plecter Labs. Really fantastic boards. Irv really does a great job with his tech, and I think many of you Saber enthusiasts can agree with me there. Anyhow, like I said, it does support NeoPixel mode. It does have an 18650 lithium ion cell in here, and that's why it is rechargeable. I just like to point that out in case some of our viewers are newer to the Saber scene. It is a kind of a tight fit when you go to put that on, so just kind of gently kind of rock it in there, and it'll just screw right back in. And then you can line that up, switch hole, or the recharge port hole with that, and then you can pop in your kill key back in there if you need to. But right now, I'm going to show you the functionality of the Saber. So actually, yeah, I will put that back in. So when it's off, there's kill key, there's no power to the Saber. That makes it so the Saber is essentially what I call asleep, and there's no power going to the blade. If there was the blade in here, which I'll pop that in here in a second and show you, it makes it so there's no power and there's no power draw. And that's important to note with the Neopixels is they do take a lot of current, both when they're on and even when they're off. They still have a little bit of a drain to them. So I always recommend either taking the blade out and slash or putting the kill key in if you are running a Neopixel setup. And as time goes on, our technology will get a little bit better in terms of battery and power supply, so it might not even be a big issue here in a few years, but right now, I recommend doing that just so it doesn't drain your battery, because when the battery starts draining, you get a bunch of artifacts, the speaker might start crackling, the blade won't quite, it'll just kind of pulse, the speaker will kind of just make a little clicking sound, and it won't load up with the blade in because there's just not enough current. So if you do run into that problem, just plug it in and let it charge, and you should be good to go. With that being said, I am going to show you a little bit of the blade side now. And what's interesting about this, and some of you guys may have seen this, utilizes the new PCB Neopixel connectors from Tim at the Custom Saber Shop. It's actually a collaboration with a bunch of different sabersmiths, and they did a really excellent job on these guys. Really game changer stuff right there. This is a clear blade, just one of my clear blades that has foam wrapped in it. Yeah, this one didn't necessarily come out the prettiest because it was a very tight fit, but you can't really tell because it's sanded and it serves its purpose, and you can't tell when it's on. So, that being said, the way this guy goes in, there's no indexing needed. It just pops right in, and the Saber will also come with a hex key here. This top screw is the only one I warrant you to tighten and / or loosen. I mean, you can tighten whichever you want, but everything is already fairly tight. And if you need to, just take the Allen key and tighten the connector module in there too. Now, when you do that, this Saber has a fairly shallow blade depth, as you've probably were able to kind of tell just by the design and being a thin neck. That is just kind of one of the downsides of thin neck sabers, is there's just not a whole lot of blade socket depth. That being said, I made it work with this. It works fine. You can swing it around. I recommend light dueling. I don't recommend going absolutely hardcore, fully combat, Saber Legion kind of dueling with this guy. The components will hold up fine. That's not the issue. It's just that shallow blade depth with the thin neck sabers. It's not designed for really expansive kind of fighting like that. So just keep that in mind. Light dueling, maybe even medium dueling if you want to get away with that, you can do that. But when you take the kill key out, functionality wise, when you take the kill key out, you'll hear that boot up sound, and you'll see the 12mm illuminated switch light up. Now with Neopixel technology, there's really no way to shut this off. It's either on or off if you have it hooked up. I have it hooked up just because I thought it looked cool, and maybe you guys do too. So anyhow, that's how you know the Saber's on. This is also going to be a power level indicator. This is telling you that the Saber is ready, it's bootable, it's ready to go, and it's ready to activate. I have red as the color profile loaded up on that font there. Like I said in previous videos, and that you guys can probably find out on other various forums online, the Plecter Labs boards, most of them, including the Nano Biscotte, are really flexible, and you can program them with multiple different sound fonts, different color profiles, everything. And that's what's really nice with the new Nano Biscotte. It has new features as well as mute on boot, which is a crossover from one of their higher end boards, meaning that you don't actually have to have sound in order to use the Saber. It's really kind of cool. There you got the nice flash on clash. It's kind of a greenish blue there. This is with that nice red. Nice scrolling effect. Lovely. To access the other menus, it's just like the older versions of the Nano Biscotte and most iterations of Plecter boards. Press and hold. It'll click into the other menu, it'll reboot, and that color profile for that sound font will load up. This one is a custom blue that I dialed in. I usually do this color on all my Neopixel builds that I end up putting up for sale, just because I find that this color is just perfectly movie accurate blue in terms of what you see in the newer movies. It also has a very quick ignition and retraction. It took me a minute to dial that in, but I feel like it got dialed in fairly nice. The final color is just a simple green, but it is nice and bright, just like the other colors. hear that, how it loaded up into that next sound font there. Again, quick kind of ignition, scrolling, retraction, everything that you'd want, part of the Neopixel technology, you have it there. This one's a little bit more of a amberish yellow. It's actually more of a yellow for sure. Flash on clash. Again, all these colors are editable. You can go into the SD card and edit those, the sound fonts, the ignition, retraction settings, all sorts of stuff. But right now, I'll shut off this light just so you can kind of have some fun seeing how intensely bright these Neopixel blades are. I know I've examined that in other videos, but it's so fun. It's so cool. It really is the future of our illuminated saber technology. You know, you have full swings. I don't know if I can do it here sitting down because I have the sensitivity settings set at kind of a weird value on this saber. It's what it required to get it kind of, if I don't knock things, there you go, knock things around. Anyhow, the thin neck looks really good. It feels super good in hand. It has a very thin diameter. 1.30 is the outside diameter of this entire hilt. It's pretty sleek. You have the knurling here that just feels really comfortable. So when you're sporting the saber, it just feels really good. It doesn't feel like it just has a really awesome feel to it. And there's more flash on clash goodness. Anyhow, this saber will be up for sale on my webpage as well as my eBay store. And if you guys want to go on, check it out. Feel free to ask questions. And I'll do my best to get back at you. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your holidays and a Happy New Year. Bye.